we've come back into this this area of demand here. Stretch it out a bit more. Actually, no, my bad. We haven't come back into that area. My bad. It's this demand zone on the monthly. My bad. Price has stayed within this demand zone. My bad. And we've had a stop hunt into this area. Let me zoom back out a bit. So yeah, we've had a stop hunt into this area, which has given us this long hair. It's given us this long hair, and now provide within that long, we can say we've had a market structure break because a high that was created in 2020, we've now broken above, the body of the candle's now broken above it, and we've now come back down for a nice RTO. And you can see that the price, just the movement of price, you can see is actually moving quite how we would like it to move. Market structure breaks, return back into for RTO. So you can see that from this burst of liquidity, from this stop hunt, prices slowly come back down into this demand zone. If we're going to the daily, that on the weekly, that weekly demand zone that's happened. We've had a weekly stop hunt into there, and you can already see the amount of pressure. Look how long it took how many days? Probably about 2-3 weeks for us to have this movement here, this short movement back for the RTO. But as soon as we got into this demand zone, one stop on of the low, look, literally 2-3 days, we've managed to take a whole week of selling pressure. So we can tell that the market, this USD CHF for the US dollar, is definitely in a bullish movement right now. Is what I can tell. Just which areas are we gonna go long from? What price points do the market makers want to take the price to before we go long or go short? So from looking at that now, I've put my analysis out there as well. What I'm looking for right now on USD CHF is this line here that I've got marked out. This is the high of last month. So if I zoom in, that's the high of last month. So if we have today is the end of June, so I'm looking for a close above this area. If we have a close above this area, then this is going to be a strong VP point for us, HVP for us. So what I would look for in this area is some sort of, possibly, because we can have two things here, because we can either have a stop on of this high, which I think we're having right now. If we have a stop on of this high here, and then we have a relevant market structure break, my bad, from this high here, we could ride this short, because there are gaps on USD CHF that I do believe we're going to fill. So an entry for a short could be possibly something like, let me get this box out for you guys, something along the lines of this demand zone that's been created that the prices boost up. If we have a break beneath here, we can kind of follow it down and ride this wave down. Or what we could do, depending on what happens to the price in this H1 demand zone, or possibly we've got a new one here actually, if price decides to give us a stop hunt here, because this will be a VP now. If we do get a relevant stop hunt on a market structure break, we could be in for a continuation long to possibly take these highs. We might have a stop hunt of this high and go short, or continue going long. So it's right now, what I'm doing is kind of just waiting to see what the market wants to give us. Do you understand? So these two lines here, let me actually get the price points here. So 92386 and 0.91654 is the range that I believe USD CHF is in. If we have a break between any one of these two price points, I'll be looking for either a long or a short. So that's kind of, in essence, what I'm looking for in for USD CHF. Although I do believe, if I were to put my own predictions out there, I do believe that because we have a liquidity gap at this level right here, which is within a demand zone as well on the H4, I do believe we might have a return back into this demand zone, possibly stop hunt this low. Yeah, possibly stop hunt this low. Yeah, and then continue going long is what I do believe. But I mean, the markets we can always go long as well from here as well. Going on next, let's look at AUD USD quickly. One of my views on there. We've been, in fact, let me get my other chart up here actually. AUD USD has been a very interesting one. I do believe AUD USD is also going to be bullish on the price action from what I've seen. So from what Michael indicated before, this D1 demand zone, this D1 demand zone that we marked out here. Let me bring that over here. Actually, no, let me just zoom out. The D1 demand zone that's in this area is kind of aligned in with a demand flip zone that was created in 2018. If I go back, I can show you, but I'm just for time reasons, I'm not going to. This D1 demand zone has now been broken, and it returned above this. And if I get the crosshair out, you can see that the bodies of the candle did break above it. However, if you go to the H1, if you go to the H4, my bad, it's given us this beautiful supply zone now that the price is actually operating in. So my initial views on AUD USD is long for the long term. However, I do believe we're in a bearish reversal to a VP. I do believe, and go to the monthly here, is this VP here. This is how I've planned it out. So we've broken beneath this supply zone that was holding the price for a while, very clean, and we've returned here many times, and we've now just had a break. So what I do believe we're going to have is possibly a return to this VP, because we've had no return to this VP. Stop hunt over H1 low. I'll show you guys once I break it down, into a demand zone for us to continue going long. So if I go to the H1 as well, and zoom back out for you guys, just to give you guys a little look as to where my head's at with this trade. This is what I like to do, just go back in time and see what the price is doing. So you can see that there is a low here that the market, or there's two lows here actually that the market hasn't taken. Do you know what I mean? This low here, which is right beside a demand zone, H4 demand zone, my bad, right here, and also at a monthly VP. So it's kind of given us all the confluences for us to come. Well, there is a liquidity pool at that area there, because there is unfulfilled deficiency here. So I believe that the price is gonna. I want to see what happens when the price gets to that area. I do believe that we're going to continue going short, and from that area, we're not even too far away, to be very honest with you. About 132 pips. So we could have a stop hunt into next week. So what I'm looking for is some sort of stop hunt into this area here. If you have an MSB RTO, then we can take it long. But to be on the safe side, this supply zone that's been held here is what I'm going to use as a flip reoptimization. So if we get a break above this area, a return to this area, we can take this long, and I'll be looking to take it long back to the highs, because there's I don't feel like we've had a full RTO. As you can see, this here in itself is unfulfilled efficiency. So I do believe that for us, this demand zone, this VP will give us enough pressure to take us back to this D1 supply zone, which can now take us back down to possibly come back to this demand zone here that initiated this whole movement in the first place. So that's what I'm kind of looking for on AUD USD. So this is just a gentle reversal, because we've taken out, if you look at it properly, we've taken out, let me zoom in a little bit more. We've stopped, I'm not sure which high is this. We've stopped hunted a high, one of the highs of 2018 into a monthly supply zone. So this supply zone has a lot of pressure right now, because this is the reason why this supply zone is the reason why that we went short, or the last order block actually in supply that took us all the way short for this massive movement here. So this order block is very important to us, and we've had stop hunt into it. So this return right now that we're having into this this VP is more like, you say, a bigger MSB for an RTO for us to continue going long to possibly this supply flip zone that's been broken. Do you understand? Or the demand zones. Or I'll be looking at these areas as well for us to continue to go long. So this is just a reversal short for us to go long. That's what I'm looking at. I'll leave AUD USD for now. Let me go and have a look at pound NZD, because that's a inverse correlation with euro NZD JPY. Yeah, new chart window. If there's anything you guys want to look at as well, let me know. What's going on here? Get rid of this. Order. No, what am I talking about? This is the wrong one. I'm looking at pound NZD, my bad, sorry. There he is. Fantastic. Let's get templates out. All right, standard, just look at it from the monthly first. So definitely bearish for the trend right now. If I look at it, we've got a massive, even if you draw a trend line, you can even see very, very bearish. Do you understand? So Michael, you did say that NZD is it, what's the inverse NZD USD, my bad, was going short. So if we were to look at it, then bring it over here, just based off pair correlation, if NZD USD is going short, then pound NZD is going longer. So let's have bear that in mind. Let's have a look at the price action for the past couple of days. All right, on a H4. So let's actually have a look. Let's have a look. On the weekly. So this demand zone on the weekly initiated the price to go long, and we've really been in this area of demand so far. So pound NZD is definitely on its way long. As to areas on which we're gonna go long, let me look at this supply zone on a weekly as well. I wouldn't really want to use this supply zone, even though the bodies of the candles have slightly respected a little bit. Let me go on the H4 and see if it's given us anything new for us to look at. I mean, from the looks of it, from May, if I get this demand flip zone out here. So from May, this demand flip zone is the one that I've been looking at the most. So we came into this supply. So from the weekly demand zone that we had, price has been capped at this supply zone on the D1. So when we got to this D1 demand zone, price pushed back, used this demand zone. Give me a second, let me just check something out. All right, let me see something, see if it returned back into this area. So price hasn't come back into this H1 demand zone after the MSB. So we potentially might have a short coming. But from the looks of things, from when we first came, when we first came to this supply zone, we had a bounce back from the supply zone, didn't really come back into demand, reverted back into the supply zone. Use this D1, use this H4 demand flip zone as a barrier, broken above it, returned, and is deciding to go long from here. So this D1 supply zone, I don't think we can really use it. Maybe see if we can use another one a bit higher up. Or maybe in fact we use this whole bear trap itself. I mean, manipulation bar. So we've come into this D1 supply zone here. So I'm going to forget about this one here. I don't really like the price action inside of it. So price has now come into this D1, I would say manipulation bar. So a bull trap, and has come short from it. He's even given us a little smaller D1 supply zone inside, but I'm gonna use the whole thing for now because price has come into it now. So if NZD USD is deciding to go long, it's decided to go short, my bad, then pound NZD is deciding to go long. So I think I might have changed my view a little bit. I feel like we might be seeing pound NZD going short and NZD USD going long, because I was mapping out from when I was mapping out NZD USD, I was just putting out stop on to see the full, market, to see where we're actually going. And NZD USD is, in the long term, is bullish. I do believe is very bullish. Do you understand? And we're just gonna have some adjustments and corrections on the downside before we go long. So I was just marking out the most recent stop hunt. So if I just mark it out, we've had stop on of 2017. Oh no, well, stop on of a high of 2017 into a supply zone. So this is enough pressure for us to go short. Let me draw it out so you can see. This is enough pressure for us to go short as we can. However, what's kind of stopping me now is that we've had a monthly stop hunt of 2 months ago. So what month is this? We've had a stop hunt of March in June now. So we could, well, this is where I've marked out these highs. If we have an MSB of any one of these two highs, then I do believe that we may be seeing NZD USD going long, as this may have just been a stop hunt for us to continue. And from looking at pound NZD, I do believe that we may be going short as well. Now that we come into this supply zone, you could say that we've had an MSB of this low here, because this is a demand zone that did hold the price for the past 2 weeks. So price has broken above it now and is going long. So in essence, this could either be a pullback for an RTO in either this demand area, which price is at right now. So I'm watching the price now right now. Is either we can, in this price area, for us to go short, or we come back into here. So right now, it's actually, we might actually have I might have to keep my eyes on this one and drag it to the front, because we might have a potential trade here. We've come into this D1 supply zone. This demand zone has been broken, re-optimized, and we've come back down. This demand zone has also been broken. Did have a return, but you can see that it's come back into this demand zone that pushed the price in May, and it's gone long, broken above this demand zone, even re-optimized it perfectly. Bodies have stayed inside and we're still going long. But we've come into this demand zone that held the price from yesterday, not from yesterday, from last week. So what I'm thinking now is, all right, which area? This is probably, we can use this whole one here actually. So what I'm thinking now is, if we have a break above this area and we come back into this demand zone, into this demand flip zone, I want to see some sort of stop on action into here. If we have a wick close in these areas, body not closing in these areas, then we can be looking for a possible short for pound NZD, and that short probably take us to these equal lows here. Definitely be first target, and then the second target will definitely be probably I'm believing back down to this demand zone is what I believe. I feel like we haven't these cluster of lows here. These cluster of lows here need to be run, and I feel like these lows into this possibly this demand zone could be enough for us to continue going long is what I'm thinking. So looking at that, that's from pound NZD and NZD USD. So if this is gonna go short, I want to see a wick close in the demand zone that I was discussing, which is in demand flip zone, which is this one here, or either a wick close inside one of these two areas. If we have anybody close upon any one of these two areas, then I will consider like re-optimizing it to go long. And with NZD USD similar, if I have a body close above MSB above this high or the second high here that was created, I'll be looking for some sort of RTO back into demand. I'm going to the D1 back into trying to find the demand zone. It's possibly this one here. Let's see. Back into demand that initiated the price. So we're coming back into this demand zone now. So we could possibly have an entry as well to go long. So this is actually quite interesting because if pound NZD wants to give us that entry as well, we might have another entry as well to go long. So I'm going to keep these ones right here. I'm going to be watching them, but this is what I'm thinking. If we have a wick close in here, reversal, we could possibly see us go long to give us a market structure break, and we might have another return for us to go long, and similar with pound NZD. But I'm going to leave it as that. I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. I would go and look at some cryptos, but I think I'll leave that for later on tonight's session. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you guys later.